to click off and everything. But
Right. Yeah, I did, as you saw, I came to talk Star Wars. I didn't even acknowledge Brent. I came to talk Star Wars because I was like, oh, they got a Star Wars stream. It is May the 4th. So let me go over there. And, I did that. But then all of a sudden, it shifted, which is fine.
because Brent likes to bring it back to Power Rangers, and I noticed he did that when he was asked like, "Who's your favorite person, your Star Wars person?" He was like, "Oh, the person who didn't agree with the person who dissed Jason David Frank," and I'm like, "That's a roundabout way to bring it back to Power Rangers." And I'm like, I caught on to it, and I was like, "Man, I'm about to destroy this guy for good on that crash out," and then it's just like, whoop, it's going.
I wanted you, and I was trying to, I was trying to be respectful of stream, and I didn't want to make it all about that, but I wanted to take him down too because he did that. And that upset me because the original trilogy is what made me. That's what I know more than anything else is that original trilogy. And we're here to talk some Star Wars, and his talk on Star Wars is picking out cast members, like which one are the nicest, and then, bringing it back to Power Rangers.
I know.
And that was it. And I was like, this isn't a Star Wars talk. So I said, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to school everybody on the original trilogy. I'm going to go get everything. I'm going to put all the forgotten stuff, all the original script ideas, and I am going to show what I'm all about. And that's exactly what I did. And everybody loved it, except for one person who didn't even speak one time when I started to glow. He was gone. I think he even disappeared off camera.
Yeah, he did. He did.
One word.
He did.
I know he hate Brent. I know you hate me.
Brent is an attention whore, according to Aerostream.
He is an attention. And here's what I'll say. And this is respectfully, it was Star Wars Day. It wasn't Brent Day. Okay. That's what I came to do. I came, I saw, I conquered, and I delivered the message of Luke Skywalker. That's what I was there to do. And I did that. And you don't like it. And that's too bad. Secondly, did you hear? He was at NostalgiaCon out here in Colorado.
Yeah.
And did you know I was there?
I think you told us you were there for like 20 minutes.
I was there. And he confirmed, yeah, I was there. I said, how come you didn't come over and get an 8x10 photo with me and you? We can go over. I put my arm over you, take a picture. He's like, you're so condescending. That's how he responded.
I wanted all that.
He got crazy.
I didn't see that part. I didn't see that part.
Yeah, he got mad, and I was like, what's wrong with you?
Because when he goes to these conventions, he's constantly walking the floor. If he's not at a booth, he's constantly walking the floor. So he probably could have saw you and didn't say anything or whatever.
So I'm like, oh boy, now I go to conventions, I got to look out for him, and see him. Cause like, if I see him, I'll be like, hey, Brent, what's up? So tell me all this crazy stuff. Cause he always said he stands on business, and when he sees people, he's going to tell them this and tell them that. I said, all right, well, here I am. Go ahead and tell me.
Right.
Go ahead. What do you have to say? He's probably going to put his head down like that. That's fine too. But hey, don't call out things if you can't deal with it. And that was the thing. That whole show, Henry, when Francis came, I was there with Francis, Answer, and Angel. They ended up putting us all together on him. He was like in the middle.
I definitely didn't see this.
Middle.
I did not see this.
And then here's one here, and he was in the middle like that. He's right in the middle. And I was like, the uniting of the Fantastic Four. That's what I said. And I said, all right, let's go, guys. And he was sitting there like, oh no. And Francis let him have it. And all he did was yell. Dude, he crashed out worse than Rican. He was, and he was yelling so much.
Man, I look, man. I wish
you could have seen it, because when I turned it back to Star Wars, because Francis was like, Drew, turn it back to Star Wars. I said, cool. So I went in and started doing that. And then all of a sudden he's like right in the middle of me talking, just losing it. So when they said he was crying, it looked like he was crying because he was getting so mad and he was getting so charged up. And yeah, he did blame Sean for getting him riled up. He's like, Sean came on here and called me out, and he got me riled up. He's what caused all this. And I was like, you can't blame it on Sean because you are a grown man, as you keep telling everybody, right? Because he got upset when I called him a little boy. Remember that? He's like, he called me a little boy that plays with his tennis racket. I can't take it, right? All right.
Shit.
Well, then show me, right? Show me you're a grown man. Show the world you're a grown man. Prove me wrong. So you could have had that discussion with Sean, and then you could have left it alone, right? But no, he blamed Sean, and now he's like, now I got to talk to everybody. So he's got to yell at Francis. He's got to yell at me. That's what he used to justify everything that night. He blamed that whole situation.
Zero accountability. Zero accountability.
And I called him out on it. I did. I said, you got zero accountability on everything. You like to stand on business, and you can't. And we cracked him on the creatine thing, because when Answer brought that, I said, you're exactly right. And I said, here's one to add on to that, Answer. John Jones did that huge fight out in Las Vegas, and he was taking creatine, and they found traces of cocaine, shut down the entire fight, cost them millions of dollars at the UFC. Because they found traces of that. And I told Brent, I was like, and you have to understand, those things can happen. He wasn't trying to intentionally get that stuff, but it ended up in the system. And then Angel pointed out, you could pour it in somebody's drink. You know, you can't see it. You can't really smell it.
Yeah.
And he pointed that out. And he was like, he would have known. JDF would have known. If you can't smell it, you can't see it, and you don't know what's going on, how can anyone catch that?
Yeah.
See? And I said, so that's the thing. You have to. The Answer broke it down too. He was like, here's actually what happened. And Jason was over here. Stuff was over here.
And I believe that was Tammy's room too, in all honesty.
And that came up too. It was like, it was registered to her. So the cocaine and stuff was more towards her. He was over here. So, and if she wasn't arrested for anything.
No.
So how can you sit here and say that he's guilty? Right? Yeah. And it's in her name and everything, and they didn't take her in and question her about that. So he tried to call out all kinds of stuff. But I'll tell you what he did do that you would have loved. We wound him up so much. You know what he slipped up and said and yelled it out?
What?
He said, Henry owes me money because the money that they give him, it should be mine. He admitted it completely. Not one, but 2 or 3 times in there.
Oh, he's counting the money now. Wow.
Yeah, he's like, I want the money. And I'm mad at Henry because his excuse. Well, Henry gave you an answer. Your answer's not good enough, Henry. That's what he said.
Oh,
so it's not. He didn't tell you. Remember, he said, "Oh, Henry didn't tell me." Yeah,
I told him. I was like, "Ellie, they just paid to keep you off," and I just took the money.
He just said it wasn't good enough, and really, what it is
That's just what it was.
He's hurt because he's saying, "Oh, they should have more integrity just to allow me to be here because I'm me." And I stopped him and said, "Hold on,
if someone would gave me money to brand you, Drew, I'd have been like, all right, Drew, I can't call you up, man.
Hey, it is what it is, you know." But I called him out. I said, "You're upset because you want some sort of allegiance. But guess what? Remember, you said we're not friends.
Oh yeah,
none of us are.
We're not friends. There's no community.
Thank you.
All that good stuff."
Yeah. He said. I said, "What about all that?" And he was, no, and well, you should still stand. People's integrity should still stand over money. I said, if you have no allegiance, then what does that mean to you? Nothing. So you can't sit here and have people to, look at their integrity and where they stand. And I said, facts over feelings. Remember all that stuff. So you can't use.
Yo.
I had him.
Look, man, I had him. I don't know why they won't release the goddamn
Answer had
tape.
him and Angel had him. We all had him, and we hit him hard. We hit him hard, and we played off of each other. We had him.
Oh man, that was gonna be the. I was like, yo, I was gonna end him if I had that stream. I was like, oh, he said that. He said, oh, I was gonna end him.
He did.
But
he went there. That was the greatest Brent stream right there because we cooked him so bad, and he couldn't run. And we put him in a corner and we poked at him and he couldn't run. And I stuck it to him, letting him know I was at NostalgiaCon. And I said, yeah, get a picture with me. I said, come on. And of course I threw the little salt in the wound and I said, And you're just mad because I'm one of the few people that got to meet Twee Trang and you didn't. So come on. Let's have it.
Oh
Let's have
man.
it.
Cayenne said, hold on. Cayenne said he refuses to read my email, which is the Jason Geiger transcripts. And he said he offended Henry because he flew you out.
Yeah. He still tries.
He should know I'm in the bind. What are you talking about? Like, now Brent has the money to bail himself out. I think one of the months is only like $100.
Yeah.
But that's nothing for Brent, but he just won't do it. He won't do it. And he said he wanted some of the money or something.
Yes, he wanted the money that Answer was panned into, and on top of it,
it wasn't just money, Answer though.
Huh?
It wasn't just Answer paying into it.
I know, but he wants that money and everybody else's money. And every time you had hits, when you have him running on stage with the fake body and all that stuff like that, it was like he was saying that he brought you money, right? And he brought you popularity. He added to everything to where he should be entitled to that money and the money to ban him off because he's worth that much. This is coming from a guy that has zero personality. He couldn't even talk Star Wars with me whatsoever. So he has no nerd culture whatsoever. He has no martial art background besides his apparent yellow belt that he had for 5 seconds.
My daughter got a yellow belt.
He's just got nothing. He can't talk about anything except those weird facts, that he thinks are so important or going in circles the same conversation. He can't talk about anything. Heck, I'd be surprised if he could really sit and talk about seasons of Power Rangers and really break it down. He's just in little pockets of little things of information. That's it. Because I saw it and I was just like, dude, that's all you got. You come in here for a Star Wars stream and you've got no Star Wars anything to bring here. Really?
Let him cook.
I'm like, look at him going, dude. It was lame. He's lame. I'm sorry. The dude is lame. I gotta be honest here. He's lame. He's completely lame.
Holy shit, Answer.
This dude has lived his whole life being lame. And now he wants to get on YouTube thinking it's gonna make him important.
Holy shit.
With no skills. You got no skills. You got no game. You got no girlfriend. You got no life. That's why you go to all those conventions. Because for one moment, it makes you feel important getting a signature. Because your signature isn't worth anything. And you've got nowhere.
Let him cook.
That's him. That's his whole life. You live a very sad life. And I'm going to say this. You need to shave your head, become Lex Luthor, join or make the Legion of Doom with Rican and all those people, all of you. You can be Lex Luthor, Rican can be the Joker. Nerd Talk can be Gorilla Grodd. You guys can all get together, and form the Legion of Doom because that's the leader. That's what I always said too. And now here we are.
Yo, Answer just dropped 200 in the chat to keep Brent off in September.
Oh, shoot. See? The people have spoken. And Brent, I'm sitting right here. I didn't do it. The people spoke. And I kept telling him, I said, Brent, you accused me when you first went on their show saying, oh, I know Drew's laughing and reporting to Henry somewhere. Remember he said that at the beginning?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, other people spoke. I told you that a year ago. I was like, I told you, I said, if you keep doing this, people aren't going to like you and they're going to speak because you're not a positive person. There's nothing positive about him. Henry, tell me one good thing about him. Does he go to Children's Hospital? Does he volunteer his time? Does he do anything good? Or does he sit up late at night thinking about how he's going to
he's ultra entitled. That's what it is. It's entitlement that he's going through. And first, let me shout out to Answer06 before we talk about entitlement. He says to keep Brent off Jason's birthday in September. He I'll add this to I got the chart up still. Wow, I got it up. All right, I'll add it to the chart. So he's banned until September 21st. And he's calculating everything that people donate to get people banned, and he wants, I guess, a cut from it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
And he's so mad at you. That's the other thing. He's so mad at you the whole time I was there. He's like, it's Henry's fault. It's Henry's fault. Like he was coming for you. I was
Here's
like,
the thing,
dude.
right? There's 1 month where it's like only 110 was put towards getting Brent off. And I'm like, he could easily beat that month. But he don't want to invest.
Because he's too cheap to pay for. That's what that is. He's that guy that wants to yell, but then the moment's like, all right, you want to do something about it? Okay, here's what you got to do. He's
yeah,
like,
it's like the movie was free for so long, and then he like, oh well, now it costs you like what? I used to get it for free. Well,
he's cheap.
Hey, it looks like that. Shout out to you, Answer06 man. Appreciate you, man of his word out there. And shout out to the Oxy on my lunch break, and you're still going. Keep on trucking. Yeah, man. I'll post it in the stream, but we started talking to Brent stuff, and the people who got the Brent stream won't release it to me, so I can only get it from like the secondhand stories.
Secondhand setup.
Brent is just a flexer. That's all he got. Yeah, I mean he's just in. So I think, did I get everyone who donated? Hold on. I think I saw someone that said yeah. Oh, Bushido, where you at? Give me a second. Yahoo, 2 months, and he said, here's his contribution.
Henry, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bushido, man. Appreciate you. I just want to make sure I got everybody. But he's entitled. So what happened was he was coming on the stream for so long, spewing his anti-JDF rhetoric, and I'll let everyone have their moment, whether you pro-JDF, anti-JDF, whether you pro-me, anti-me, having his voice until someone, I don't know who started. I'll have to go back to see who was the first person to say, hey, I'll pay you such and such to keep Brent off stream for today.
That's a good question. Who was the
first person to say, I'll pay you to keep Brent off the stream? Because it was not Answer.
Yeah, that's true. I know that.
It was Chad.
Oh, it was Chad. Oh, boy.
Chad. It was Chad.
There you go, Brent.
Now, Chad said Brent's never coming on stream. He said he's done.
Yeah, I don't want to back on. I didn't care. Actually, I was like, if he wants to speak his piece, whatever. I was kind of neutral about it, even though, me and him hate each other. But listen, Brent, see, I still kept you on. But when I saw how much hatred you have for people and how entitled you truly are, I'm like, you know what? You don't need to come on here. You don't need to go anywhere. Like, seriously, dude, you need to go get some professional help with Rican and go sit down. That's what you need to do. You really need to go evaluate your life, because obviously you don't have anything else going on. Your whole life is just bent around autographs and traveling to do that stuff. And that's all you got, man. Obviously you need a little bit more. So you need to go get some help, man, because nobody can talk about you. Somebody mentions your name, you up in air. Every time I went on Renee's and I'd be like, oh yeah, me and Brent. Anyway, so there's trees and whatever else. And you go, oh, Renee, he mentioned my name. I got to defend my honor. I literally just mentioned your name in passing. I didn't say anything about you. Now he wants to show up. So he can't control himself.
He stalks the streams or whatever, and he waits for the link to drop and hi.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect, man. That's what he said when I came on the show. I didn't even address him, but he was like, hi. And I was like, well, I'm here to talk about Luke Skywalker. I'm not here to talk about you. Man. And I know he hated that. I was like, I am not here to talk about you.
He's really, if you're not the most experienced, you can easily allow him to hijack a conversation. And I saw that occur, and I'm like, oh, y'all gotta steer the conversation or whatever. But
yeah, I'm not gonna let it. If I don't want him to hijack me, I'll take him right off me. And he knows that. That's why he doesn't like me, because he knows, like, I don't entertain his nonsense. I'm like, dude, if you do something stupid, I'm gonna tell it's stupid. Okay, that's just how it is. I'm like, Brent, that's stupid. Okay, I'm not gonna entertain that.
Now
go sit down and eat your cookie and behave yourself. All right. That's what you need to do. Please. Okay? You're not making the world a better place. You're making it worse. So go calm yourself down. How can you claim to even be a Power Ranger fan?
Killing me. You fucking killing me.
It's just the truth. How can you claim to be a Power Ranger fan and stand for good and true when you're really the villain? You know, like Rican, the villain. And by the way, Rican said, I love being the villain. Did you catch that? So I'm like, all right, both of you love being villains. So here you go. Start that Legion of Doom. Start taking donations.
Hold on. Aerostream said KOD season 2, episode 5, Rise of the Entitled.
It should be. I'm with it. I like that. It should be.
Oh, man.
Brent, come on, man. Join. You need a platform, right? Henry, he needs a platform, right?
He needs a platform.
There you go. That you guys should get together. There you go.
And all honesty, I don't think the platform he had, the super crash out, is going to be too kind to him going forward.
Here's the thing. You guys get together and form the Legion of Doom, and we'll be the Justice League, and we'll shut that down.
Let me acknowledge some people. Thank you, Dono Nevitt, for your contribution. I see it. I appreciate it. I'm documenting all this for September. Free Brent. Wait, fuck Brent in September. Now, if you don't remember, guys, Meat Hooks was originally on the whatchamacallit. He was on the Let Brent Come Up. He paid to let Brent come up. And Aerostream was like, my wife loves him. And then they won the initial bidding. And then it got tapped out, and then Answer was like, hey, here's for the next month. Keep them off. And then that's how we start going into 30-day increments. And then it got I honestly I didn't think people was going to keep it going, but they are really wanting Brent off, and now he's behind the scenes seething because he can't come up on stream. He could come in the chat, he could email me, he could do all that stuff, but he wants to specifically the live stream audience live. And I'm like, no, go on some other stream. And if you know, like even when he was going on Renee's, I wasn't reacting to it.
Yeah.
I wasn't. Yeah. I wasn't, because I'm like, this is kind of stuff he said before. It ain't like, ain't a big deal, but that crash out, I wanted that crash out. I wanted that crash out so bad. I should have just downloaded it.
And it was rough. Renee told him he's not coming back on. He got removed from there. So nobody wanted him there.
Well, he will be on whatchamacallit. Someone said check Discord. What is this? What's this?
Riken Ranger.
All right, I got it. It's a song. It's a song. All right, I got the song. Show this. What is this? Show what? This? What is this, man?
Did you get the video I sent you?
I did.
Because you were talking about stuff like that. I was like, that is the greatest video.
Let me tally this up. Shout out to Aerostream, who says Rican equals Zed, Brent equals Rita, the crackheads equals Babu and Squat.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah. Man, I love y'all, man. Like I know Me Hooks is like, man, we need that XQC video, but I'm like, bro, this shit's too fun over here. My wife likes Brent because we need to laugh at times.
Oh gosh. Well, I'll say this. My wife can't stand him. And she hears his voice and she's like, I can't stand his voice. It's just annoying. Like I gotta go. I can't even hear it. Like she's annoyed by him.
Now y'all know he's watching right now. Make no mistake, he is watching right now. 100%. And I don't know, he'll be on KOD, I guess, reacting to it.
And my wife ran for rodeo queen. You know, if you know what that is, that's, you know, the Western lady of the land, you know, she, you know, magazine, whole 9 yards. And she knows a guy that has no girlfriend or wife when she sees it. She knows a lame guy when he shows up.
Now, what is this? I got these ninjas pop. They think they know us. Y'all really want smoke with the fam? Haha, give me a reason. You know,
looks
you
like something Rican wrote. By the way, it's written. It looks like something he would write. It literally sounds just like something he would say. So it's got to be him.
Man, they found a picture of me from the 70s. Hey, probably, man.
You got
Probably. Shout out to everyone who donated to keep him off in September. I guess we're gonna have to do something big for
You
Jason.
got that fried, dyed, and laid to the side hairstyle. He got the slick to the side.
Any last words, Drew? Man, this has been good, man. I appreciate everyone letting me know
Of course.
what happened in the stream, man.
Of course, check out that video when you get a second. I think you'll really get a kick out of it. I think you'll want to view it and kind of do some stuff with it. I think it's right up your alley.
All right. Well, thank you, Drew, so much for coming up, and thank you for
problem.
holding down the fort in my absence against what would he be, like the Sith Lord? Would he
yeah, man, he'd be Emperor Palpatine, man. And I'm gonna say this in closing, man. I am Luke Skywalker, Jedi Knight.
Let's go.
And friend of Captain Solo. And I came to deliver the justice of the Jedi that day. I put the Rebel Alliance.
I know it had to feel good. I know it had to feel good.
Oh man, it felt great. It felt great. I was trying to avoid it, but I was like, okay, he wants to go here. We'll go here. And I'm bringing the justice of the Rebel Alliance down on you. I am Lando Calrissian getting ready to hit that last switch on the Death Star to blow it up. I'm bringing it.
Yeah.
Every time.
All right, Drew. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.